Yeah. All right. Sorry, guys. Either I know I gave people two different hours. First, I said 6, and then I said 5, and then we started trying to figure out.
Okay, we're back.
How to connect this, and it didn't want to. So I'm either 40 minutes too early for those who I told that I was gonna do it at 6, or I'm 20 minutes late to those that I said I was gonna come in at 5.
Okay, first question. How do I turn an idea into a small company?
Wait, what?
We're getting, this guy is like asking
A bunch of questions.
Daniel.
Oh, what's up? All right, so you guys are starting to show up. Again, for those still trying to figure out this whole system, you think this is I don't know how many times we've done this thing, 3-4 times that we figure out how to get online and live. It doesn't work that way. Every single time we have to figure different things out. Today we're figuring out what, like, the slates, right? It was like you can put pieces of video that will show on the screen that might have like information, or like, I don't know. It's like, it's a good thing to start a video or a live stream with the video, because then it allows people to kind of come in and gather in, especially when I'm so bad at giving you guys a concrete time where I'm gonna start this thing.
I'm gonna tweet out and kind of push it, promote it, and see if we can get a couple more people logging in.
Okay.
The count's going up.
Alrighty.
We're up to 6.
Hey Trevor, how's it going, man? Appreciate all the support. You are among the hardcore supporters of my channel, and I appreciate that. There's a group of you guys that are always commenting and watching all the videos and stuff. That's pretty cool. Thank you for all your support, guys. Awesome vlogs as always. Use DSLR over camcorders. Oh, why? Why am I using DSLRs over camcorders? Well, there's a bunch of reasons. Mostly the fact that the DSLRs have large sensors, and that allows you to have like shallow depth of field. Light sensitivity is greater on the DSLRs than the camcorders, and it allows you to have different lenses. So I have usually when you have a camcorder, it's like whatever lens they put on there, that's what you're limited to. But on a DSLR, then you can get very specialized lenses. Like, for example, this one that I'm on here, it's a super wide angle lens, 7-14, equivalent on a 35mm full frame sensor. It's gonna be like a 14 to 30, 28. Yeah, so it's a 14 to 38 millimeter, very wide angle, f4. It's actually very sharp. This one is all beat up because I have beaten up. I mean, I've used it for a long time when I was working on the Samba, and so the front element, it's all, burned up and scratched, and so it doesn't work as it used to when it was new and stuff. And I probably should get me a new one. They've come down in price. It used to be like $1,500. Now they're like $700, I think. But this one still works. You know what I mean? Like, the only time when it shows its weaknesses now, it's when the sun kind of hits it directly, and it shows all the imperfections that it has. So that's the reason why I use DSLRs over camcorders. If you think about it, my two main lenses are specialized lenses. The other one that I use is this one. I'll show you. Is that new one that we got on the vlog there? I don't know, a month ago or something. This is a oh man, look at this thing. I have to take care of my hardware. This one is really fast. This one lets you shoot almost in the dark. It's like an f.95, so the aperture is really big, and it's like a fully manual. It's almost like a cinema lens, a tiny cinema lens. The optics are really, really high quality. This is handmade in Japan. You know, when you open it all the way up, it lets you shoot incredibly like dark lit scenes. But when you're during the day, then you can stop it down, which means you close down the iris, and then it becomes an incredibly sharp piece of glass. So that is the reason why I use DSLRs. Okay. Oh, how? Wait, how do I pronounce Danielle? Is it Danielle?
Danielle Ahmad. I don't know.
Danielle Ahmad? Okay. Hopefully I'm pronouncing your name correctly. You're asking how much profit do I get every month from my company? These days, I am barely making my bills. I do have quite a bit of bills. You know, I used to have a lot more, but I've been downsizing and trying to. Well, how do you explain that when you're like getting rid of everything that I don't need, kind of stuff? Yeah, kind of like. How do they call it? When you get rid of your extra weight, your extra bills and stuff.
Downsize, streamlining.
Streamlining. I've been streamlining my.
Hey, Dan Lenny just popped on. He's saying hello on the.
Oh wow. Okay. Hey Dan, how's it going? Yeah. So I'm barely making over my bills. I don't actually make a lot of profit. I don't have a lot of money to buy new tools. Like my computer hasn't been working for me because it's too slow, and I need a new one. I can't just go and buy one right now. So what I've done, I recently sold it. I'm waiting for it to get paid so that I can order a new one and stuff. But yeah, you know, it's definitely not what it used to be way back in the day. Okay, I think I'm going really slow here. Is there a lot of questions now?
I'll keep track.
Okay.
Someone said, so say hi to Dan. You know, he's from Australia. He's an old friend. We hung out a lot.
Dan Lenny. I get your emails. I think I'm subscribed to one of your email lists and stuff, and I get to see every time you send out stuff to your group there. So I think you're now living in Australia, right? I hope that's good, and maybe one of these days we'll get to visit you and stuff. Welcome to my live Q&A that I'm doing here. This is kind of like a Wild West still. We're just trying to figure out how we're gonna do all this stuff. So we just kind of talk about.
He said, "Sorry to hear about business being slow, but you should be like, it's really." It's a good thing.
This is a blessing. Yeah, this is a good thing. I'm actually getting to shoot a lot more these days. Then I don't have to be here trying to wrangle up, 20 employees and stuff. So it's all good stuff. I don't see it as a bad thing.
More videos.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot. I'm a happier man now that I get to struggle with bills, other than getting to struggle to manage 20 people. That's definitely a plus. Or I remember from the vlogs, sort of being rude.
So this guy, what's his name? Trevor is asking. He keeps asking about Casey. Like, talk about Casey. He's like, why do you think he's so successful?
Casey? Why do I think Casey's successful? Oh, well, there are many reasons why I think Casey's successful. One, he's a very, very, very hardworking person. Just to explain that in a better way, I've tried to do the daily vlogging thing, and I hit a wall right at like around 55 vlogs. As you guys might notice, I haven't been able to keep uploading one every day. It's I don't know exactly the reason why that is. I don't know if it. I actually shot a vlog yesterday about explaining like the whole idea of like how many days it takes for you to like build a new. So to make a habit, and I did some research, and then I shot this whole thing yesterday. I just couldn't get myself to edit it today. And so now I have a list of videos that I've started and I haven't been able to finish. Which is crazy because that's always been the thing. But for a while, I'm like, I'm just going to concentrate on smaller videos and get them out. Should be able to get them out, right? And that was the whole idea. This is what Casey's been doing now for, I don't know, close to a year. It is an incredibly hard task. It was easy for me for the first month, but then after that, it became kind of harder. Hit a wall right around 55. It turns out that I don't want to spoil the vlog coming up, but it's anywhere from 60 days and up for most people to create a habit. And I don't know, like, if you guys follow Casey, he always says that right at the moment when you are about to hit the summit, where you're about to arrive to your destination, when you're climbing a mountain, that is exactly the point where you want to give up the most. And I kind of feel like that's where I'm at right now. And maybe that's the reason why I'm struggling. Maybe it's just as easy as that. But I am struggling big time to keep myself motivated to doing these videos. I keep thinking I want to do like more elaborate videos with voiceovers and, you know, like a lot of, you know, with a full script and stuff. And I've started a couple of those, but it seems like sometimes it's counterproductive because then there's no payoff at the end of the day. I work on it. I spend a few hours on these projects that then I don't get to upload. And so then, you know, it kind of doesn't keep me motivated to do. But at the same time, the little projects, I've been struggling with them. So I don't know exactly. So anyways, Casey is a master at that. He's been doing it for so long. He's also, that's part of the reason why he's so successful. He is genuine, I believe. He's putting like a lot of his life out there, like, you know, the good parts and the bad parts, which is incredibly hard. I'd like to say that the negative criticism doesn't affect me, but I'd be lying if I say that. You know, when I upload a video, it's saying like, hey, you know, if you guys want to help me, it's completely optional. If you guys want to help me, if you feel compelled, here's a video, here's how you can do it. And 40 people unsubscribe from the channel and 24 people give me the thumbs down. I don't care who you are. That kind of does something to you. You know what I mean? Like when my subscriber count goes down when I upload a new video, and then it goes up when the days that I miss a video, you know, it's like that kind of, it makes me question what I'm doing, even though I know that it's the right thing to do, because the right thing to do is to be myself. And when I feel like I'm going to do something, then that's the thing that I'm going to do. And so I think, yeah, I think that's why Casey is so successful. If I can mimic some of that, I think I will share some of his success. I think, you know, I'm gonna go farther than before. All right.
Trevor says also, you know, good at telling stories.
Yeah, I mean, he's really good at telling stories. Then it's he's not cut like from the same cloth as the rest of us. To give you an idea, I just heard an interview that he did. And so if you ask me about my talents and stuff, and I'll tell you, well, you know, I want to tell stories. Until recently, I didn't know that is how bad I wanted to do that, you know. I have been telling stories for a long time. I have been getting paid somewhat for some of the stories, you know. But if you were to ask me what my first paid job was, I probably couldn't tell you because it wasn't that exciting for me. You know, it's like it was some wedding for some friend or something that I decided to, you know, they offered money and I said, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll take it. Casey's first paid job was a $5,000 video, right? Which he thought it was a big deal because he was nobody at that point still. But that first video that he did, he got to interview the President of the United States. Okay, so that is not normal. Like, you know, like that is not, he's not a normal guy. Like his first paid job is interviewing the President of the United States. That is, that puts you like at a different class than the rest of us. You know what I mean? And so it doesn't mean that that the rest of us can't get there. It just means that maybe we have to work a little bit harder to get there. And it doesn't mean that I could never be like that's good towards storytelling as teller as he is. It just means that I might have to work a little bit harder than he has. And so that is the reason why I think he's such a force of nature. I think, you know what I mean? Like he's got a lot of good things going for him. And so if we could try to emulate at least some of them, I think it's going to be a good thing. And so that's what I'm trying to do. You know what I mean? All right, Richard Gardner says, why don't they use DC motors in EVs? DC motors are great and cheap. And they are kind of simple devices. The problem is reliability. There's way too many moving parts. The windings on the actual rotor, you know what I mean? Like they have limitations as fast as how fast the RPMs can go. There's the brushes and the commutator. Those are stuff that wears out. They don't particularly do good like on very high voltage applications. And so it becomes a reliability issue when it comes down to like a machine or a motor that's supposed to propel a vehicle for hundreds of thousands of miles. And so they're not great for that. That's why the AC propulsion is better, because then the AC motors don't have anything that wears out other than the two bearings on the side. The center core, it's a much more solid piece of chunk of metal with copper plates and all stuff that you could spin it all the way up to 12,000 RPMs like the Tesla Model S does. And so that's the reason why AC wins over DC. DC was a great thing to start off in smaller scale applications like forklifts and stuff like that. And you could make a car like that, except, you know, it's not going to have the same reliability as an AC system. So that's the reason.
Say hi to Vlad, also from, Florida.
Oh, Vlad, yeah. Hey,
Hi.
thank you for all your comments and all your support in our channel.
Trevor asked if your goal is Jay Leno's garage.
Yeah, once we paint it, I think if Jay Leno, although I don't know, he's got a new show. I haven't seen the episodes on his new show, but like at least what he was doing back on his YouTube channel back in the days, yeah, I could totally see me, going in there and kind of explaining to him. He historically, he's not been a fan of the VW bus. I think the fact that it has become such an iconic vehicle in the last decade, and they're worth so much money now. I've heard rumors that he was looking to buy one, and then he had that comedian Fluffy with his bus, and he seemed to enjoy it, riding it with him. Now I think I think he's developing an appreciation for the bus, and so I totally would not be surprised if someday I might be able to, take my bus there and show it to him and stuff, because I think he loves electric cars, and now he appreciates the VW bus, and two of those put together, and it would make a great episode, I think. At least I think, Oh, drunk ramen. Welcome for joining us. Your first Q&A. I know you've missed the few other ones that we've made before. The other thing I wanted to do is I need to do something here in this wall.
Well, you could always just turn around and look this
Oh, well,
way,
that
or
is
look
right.
that way, or
Yeah, that is right. I can also put some graphics in here.
yeah.
Let me see.
We could put a green screen up and put anything we want.
We can put anything.
Oh, but not with this thing on.
Alrighty, let's see. Maybe we can some color. I had to add some color to these walls, right? Okay.
Hot Rod is asking him. He asked about
Oh, yeah.
how you met Philip Bloom.
Oh, Hot Rod? Hey, Hot Rod. You're not Hot Rod from Hot Rod Cameras, are you?
No, he's like a hot rod dude.
Oh, you're like a hot rod dude. Okay, because the hot rod from the Hot Rod Cameras guy was actually with me the first time that we met, Philip Bloom.
He would know.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Let's flip this way. Yeah, the Philip Bloom, we met him a few years back. By the way, I think there is a vlog that talks about that. Might have been a couple of vlogs.
Oh, which one is it? Let me find it.
The one where there's one that talks about Joshua Tree, the Joshua Tree one. Yeah, Philip Bloom, he was a guy that was like really good at explaining. He was good at explaining like very detailed stuff about cameras. Sometimes like very elaborate, very complex stuff about settings and stuff. I used to enjoy his reviews and little videos that he had online at that time, and I used to follow him. And then he like said that he was going to be in California for a thing, and I was like, "What? You're going to be in Southern California? Well, I'm here, you know." And then he said like, "Let's meet up or something," and he then joined a new app at the time that I didn't know what it was. It was Twitter, and then I got Twitter, and then I started following him. And then I was surprised to see that he's driving by here. Once I found out that he's going to be at Joshua Tree, then I got in the car, went out there, and I basically wanted to show him what I was doing. At the time, it was those little 35mm adapters, you know? And so that's how I met Phil. He was very nice to me. He was always real supportive of everything that we were doing. And through the years, we kept seeing him at shows at this. We got to spend some time with him. Florida with Dan and Phil. And so, yeah. Now he's the big time CNN shooter of like a show that is actually very good, very enjoyable. I've only seen a couple of episodes, but I plan to one day completely binge watch the what's it called? It's called The Wonder List. The Wonder List with Bill Mayer or Bill Weyer. Bill something.
He's asking. He says, "You met some tenacious people in the last 5 years: Bloom, Lenny, Logan, just to name a few very different personalities. Have they impacted your will to move forward?"
Oh yeah. Okay, hold on. Let me just. Sorry, guys. I'm just kind of looking. Yeah, definitely meeting people that are operating at a different level than you, like either whether it be professionally or in life or anything. Yeah, it gives you an idea of what your goals should look like. It gives you, you know, if you're interested in similar stuff, like definitely the best thing to do is to look at the people that are doing the things that you want to do, you know. And so you know, like this whole shooting thing, people are saying, here's the thing I want to talk, like people say a lot of the nasty comments that I get is that I'm copying Casey, right? And I am copying Casey, but I think I'm copying Casey in not in the things that people are complaining about or accusing me of. I'm copying Casey's attitude. You know what I mean? Like he set out to do this thing. He kind of took the genre, the vlogging genre, and he said, like, I'm gonna apply that to myself and say that this is what I'm doing, but I'm gonna not do what the vloggers do. I'm gonna completely reinvent this thing. And so because there's no rules. And so once you understand that there's no rules are put there by people for different reasons, and if they don't apply to you, you shouldn't follow them, especially when it comes to video on a platform like YouTube. And so that is the thing that I'm copying from Casey. That thing where I say, you know what, I'm gonna do this thing and I'm gonna figure out how this thing works for me, and that's the thing that that's what I'm gonna do. Whether people like it or not, well, it's gonna determine how long I'm gonna be able to keep doing this. But you know, it's like, as far as people are, you know, that don't understand this concept, then they'll say, well, yeah, you're copying the way he's making videos. And it's like, yeah, as far as I know, Casey did not invent the time lapse. You know, I saw that like 20 years ago. He didn't invent the titles with white letters in front of the, it's like someone else did that. He didn't invent the talking in front of a lens and saying stuff, someone else. Like, that is not the thing that he brings to the table. What he's bringing is this whole sense of like, I'm going to break the rules. I'm going to set the rules. I'm not going to follow your rules. I'm going to set my own rules that then others are going to follow. And I think that's where I don't agree with him. He feels very strongly on that people shouldn't like try to emulate his style or whatever. I think as a trendsetter, there's no avoiding that. I think a lot of people are going to do the thing, and that's why you're a trendsetter, because then that's people are gonna follow you and it's become a thing. And by the way, the first guy that shot a video using a motion picture camera was not the best filmmaker that ever exists. There was guys that then took that and then they did it better. And so once you understand that, then you kind of realize that, yes, you need to surround yourself with people that are doing things at a different level, higher level than you are. Because then that's the only kind of way that you're going to be able to get ahead or get closer to where you want to be.
Cool. So there's a whole bunch of stuff. I guess maybe this. Trevor's asking if you would ever consider doing a full vlog on an iPhone, and would you still be able to make it cinematic?
Oh, a vlog on an iPhone? Oh, yeah. Wait, will I consider? Yeah, the only thing that sucks on the iPhone is the sound. You guys are listening to me with this, the Rode Mic Pro. Thank you, Rode. They're our sponsors. Anyways, it sounds really good. You might be able to hear some bass in my voice, and it's a very good, high quality mic. And so they do make one for the iPhone that I haven't had a chance to try, but it was very apparent, and at least I don't know if it was the last one or the one before, like the vlogs that I did where I had to shoot something on the iPhone and it was really bad. As far as the image quality, yeah, the iPhone, it's awesome. I mean, it's 4K. It is better than any camera that I've owned up until just a couple of years ago. And so, yeah, maybe one day I'll do a whole vlog just on the iPhone, just kind of to show that it can be done. If I can get, some good audio stuff. And you can make it very cinematic. I mean, it's like it has slow motion. It's got, you can do time lapses with it. Yeah, it's a very capable camera. It is more of a camera than anything that any of us had just a few years ago. So yeah, it's definitely, we should probably do that one of these days. All right.
Powerwall. When is that episode coming?
Powerwall! Okay, Powerwall is one of those projects that I'm getting an itch to do, but I don't just want to slap it together. I want to make it right, and so then when I want to work on it, I'm like, okay, then I got to start writing the script, and I'm like, well, but that's not going to give me the fix, right? That's not going to allow me to, upload one tonight, so then I keep putting it off. And so that is the struggle. That's the internal struggle right now that is going. It's between these tiny little vlogs that I put together quickly, but are every day kind of becoming less and less satisfying, and then the other bigger projects where I have to get on and write a script, and then drag around lighting and put on the little clip-on mic, and then get the audio record, all this other stuff that gets in the way from just being able to have an idea and hit the, submit button. And so I'm trying. Also, the thing is right now is right before the holiday season, understandably, everyone's gearing up to sell a bunch of stuff. So I'm swamped with orders. Just yesterday, we got another 7 orders. And then today another few that I haven't even checked over there. Some of the other emails that, so I'm super busy with orders. I'm running out of parts. I gotta order some of those. Yesterday here, I sat here like, I don't know, 12 hours just ordering stuff and processing orders. It was my soul died a little bit yesterday because I didn't get to shoot or, do anything creative other than that vlog that I didn't actually get to edit. So even the little projects that are supposed to be like start now, edit now, and then upload, even those I'm having trouble right now. And again, like I said, there's many reasons. I don't know exactly why, but the Powerwall one is coming. It's coming. Who asked that, by the way?
That was Powerwall was Charles Foreman.
Oh, okay. That's the guy I met in New York. Hey, Charles. Thank you for watching.
Vlad is asking about the Panasonic Lumix 100 as a vlog camera, but I don't think you know much about it. Just tell him you don't know much about it.
Panasonic Lumix. Yeah, I don't know about that camera.
100, yeah.
The LX. Yeah, sorry, I don't know which that one is. Out of the Lumix line, the only ones that I know is the GH4, which is the top of the line DSLR that they make. I know the G7. I think it's the G7. It's supposed to be the smaller brother to the GH4, and so I've been thinking about getting one of those just to see kind of how it works. I might get me one of those. So you should have meetups, Charles Foreman. Oh yeah, I should have meetups. It's crazy. Like the meetups are great. We've had meetups with EV West, and they are this incredible thing where you get like-minded people, and then you get to talk and you get to see what everyone else is doing. There were some guys that drove this like homemade. It was like a homemade. What was it, like a hybrid car? It was like a fully electric car, but it had a trailer that had a motor in there, and he just turned it on with the switch, and then it would push the car. It was like a pusher thing. It was kind of crude, and it was kind of crazy that this guy did, but he traveled hundreds of miles on it and stuff. And so you get to see a lot of stuff like that. People that are... I like to think that I'm crazy in the stuff that I've been trying with the Samba, like the whole mixing chemistries and batteries and, and slapping things together and not like paying attention to like just the rules, right? And sometimes you like to think you're like on the outer edges of the craziness and the stuff that you're gonna do, and then you get to meet someone else and it's like, holy crap, you are crazy! Like you're driving this car and you're having another car. I go, how do you control the thing? Oh, you don't control it. It's just open throttle. So it's interesting to do these like open like this meetups and stuff. I've never been able to kind of capture one on video. And so I think maybe that is going to be my next task, or, that's the next challenge. I want to be able to do one of these and kind of capture it so that not just those ones that are there can, enjoy those and stuff.
How long does editing take after completing a shoot? You put in a 12-hour, 18-hour day, I guess, every day?
Yeah, definitely. So okay, for 55 days, I was coming in here. Okay, I'm not a morning person. It turns out, 12 years of needing to get up at 5 in the morning or 5 in the morning showed me that I'm not a morning person. You know what I mean? Like, I struggled for 12 years, and so I'm like throwing the towel. It's like, if you haven't mastered that, I put my 10,000 hours, right? It's 10 years or whatever. And I didn't master that. And so anyways, that's what tells me I'm not a good morning person. So what I been doing was, coming in here kind of like at 9, 10, sometimes 11. Then start here, and then I work here all the way till like 9, 10 at night. And then I go home, and then I play with the dogs, and then I talk to Crystal and stuff, and then she goes to bed. And then around 11 or midnight, then I started editing the video. And then it would take me anything between 3 to 4 hours sometimes, depending on how much, how elaborate I wanted to get or how tired I felt. But by the end, I felt like you just want to hit the button, And so that's the reason why a lot of the stuff, like, I don't even, like, I don't know if I want to admit to this, but I don't even credit the right music, because are the last steps, and those are the stuff where I'm like literally falling asleep, and I just need to hit that button so I can go to bed. And then I go to bed, and then I sleep anything from like 4, 5 in the morning till like 10, 9, 10, 11, where then I get up and then come here and then start all over. And so anyways, that worked for 55 days. And there was different variations of, sometimes, Crystal would, like, there's a lot of forces working against me, whether there might be fair or not, it doesn't matter. So yeah, for example, she was bothered if, the light, if I was making too much noise while I was editing or so. So then I would like say, okay, I'll go to sleep, and then I'll get up in the morning, and then I'll edit. And so I would sleep like earlier in the night, and then try to get up at 4 in the morning, and then, get to it. And then I would like upload the video and then go back to sleep. And then those days I would come in to work like even later. So again, there's no rules, but in the average, yeah, I spend like probably 1 hour shooting like a vlog, and then 3, 4, 5, maybe 2. But every time I spend less than 3 hours, I would feel like I didn't do a good job, and it was less satisfying. And so then it would get me to try to do better on the next day, And so, yeah, it's a grueling schedule. I don't know how to get back into it. Like I was explaining earlier, I kind of fell off the wagon. There's a lot of reasons. I don't know which ones is the ones that are more important. I don't know how to get back in there. I don't know if I need to take a break and say, like, I'm going to take this week and just take a break and just work on the long extended videos. And know that I'm not going to get the satisfaction of uploading a video every day. And then come back after that and see if that kind of rejuvenates me and gets me motivated to keep going. I still don't know. I'm kind of exploring that as I'm going right now. All right.
People are asking about keeping inventory organized because they see all the bins in the back.
Oh, yeah.
I guess over there when you're working.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, how does that even work? Is that just maddening?
Oh, inventory? Yeah, it was. I mean, we used to have a person that was like a full-time job taking care of inventory, because we don't inventory parts. I mean, products. So I don't inventory products. Every time someone orders something, like a product, I have to go in there and see if I have all the components to put it together. And then I put it together, put it in a box, and then ship it out. It is a thing that we were getting to the point where we wanted to tackle that, so that there was a lot of like automation and stuff, and like, we were trying to write our own like software to do the stuff. We were getting to that point where, then kind of sales kind of dropped and went, and so now it doesn't make much sense to spend a lot of time developing that, just because I get so few orders. I get 7 orders in Monday, then I get 4 today, and then by the end of the week it's like 20, 25 orders or something. And so yeah, I look for ways to kind of like cut that process, the time that I get to spend that, because that is the least favorite tasks that I get to do every day. Process orders, paperwork, and then going out there, run around and drilling holes and stuff. So I try to, but it's kind of hard when your resources are kind of limited. So it's just a battle that I hope one day I won't have to fight anymore. But for right now, that's what I have to do. Trevor says, why not a 1 vlog a week that is a week in the making? Yeah, I mean, I might have to try that if I definitely cannot keep up the daily vlogging thing.
Oh, cool. Perfect segue into Patreon. the Ahmad guy, he's asking, as what I've heard, you want to make vlogs your primary job, right?
No, not vlogs.
Well, making videos.
Videos, yes, videos.
What steps are you taking to accomplish that?
Oh yeah, I mean, there's one. So the question is that if I want to shoot videos for a living instead of coming in here and doing, shipping orders. You know, it's like I'm selling products to people. Not necessarily the most satisfying thing to me anymore. It pays the bills, which makes me feel good. And makes my wife, you know, not yell at me. I mean, you know, everybody's got to pay bills. But the things that I'm doing is I first, you know, 2 months ago I said, you know, enough with this, with the excuse that I'm too busy running a company and making the stuff that I'm paying bills. Like, that is the easiest excuse you have. Like, I wish I could make more videos, but I can't. I'm busy working, running a company. You know, like, and so I guess anyone can come and tell you, well, no, do more, you know, try harder. And in the past, I've get really annoyed when people come and tell me, try harder, do better. Because for the most part, I can like look at them and go like, who are you to tell me to do better? Like, where are your qualifications? Where are your achievements? You know what I mean? And so I were not really receptive to that sort of encouragement. You know, I would actually not take that as encouragement. And so it wasn't until like one day I got to see this one guy that is running a business, raising a family, and uploading videos every day. And so that thing kind of hit me like a ton of bricks, you know? And I'm like, that is what I want to do. And he's doing way more than me, and he's saying there's no excuse, you just need to do it. And so that's what I started to do 2 months ago. I started doing videos regardless of how much time I had. There is also, which is building, you know, not only like helping me creatively like work under like some of these conditions, you know. It's like every time that I would make a video before, it was with no deadline. I was like, whenever I would get to upload it, and there was no one asking for it. And so now the more subscribers the channel has, and the more that people know what I'm doing, then I'm kind of feeling the pressure. And so it's kind of giving me like I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to be able to operate this way, and if I'm going to be able to still enjoy making content, creating content within this realm, within this thing where I put myself this, you know, deadlines. And so the deadline for the last 2 months has been at the end of the day, or at the beginning of the day, I need to upload a video. And it was working. But then again, it's a thing that I'm still exploring, and I'm still trying to see how I feel about it and how I can keep myself motivated to doing it and making it feel, you know, fulfilled and stuff. And then also, I gotta figure out how to not make this venture that I'm doing, how to this passion that I'm doing not hurt me financially. It is a very fragile thing where I'm at right now, where I have to come in here and work to pay bills. And so that's the reason why I set up like the whole thing with the Patreon thing, and which, by the way, if you guys have, there's at least 5 or 6 of you guys that have pledged. Just to give you an idea, that it's, I want to say, matching or already passing what the AdSense on 120,000 views a month Google is giving me. 6 of you giving $1 per video or whatever. It's matching or going above already, which kind of tells you how much money I'm not making in doing this. This is a labor of love. Like, this videos, this whole 2 years that I put into YouTube has not been about money. It's not about money. I don't get, I mean, I can't even afford to buy a computer with the money that I've made with that. So, you know, like, I could have bought a lens, but not my camera and my lens. You know what I mean? Like, and so, that is a thing that maybe is gonna come one day. If it comes, great. If it doesn't come, then maybe I can figure out how to do it some other way where I still have to work. Who knows? But the aim it is to try to get to a place where I can do this full time and just come in here and do videos.
Okay, couple things.
Other questions?
What is your end goal for the vlog? Will it be compiled to something larger? And along with that, someone else is saying, what's going to happen to your company when video becomes more of a career for you? When it becomes more of a like substantial thing that you're doing?
Oh yeah. So the future for Jag 35, I'm hoping that I'm gonna be able to. I there is active work being done here to increase sales. You know, that was the whole reason for going to New York and talking to the resellers, and so the aim is here is to get it to a level where I can hire against someone and they can run this and they can do the stuff that I'm doing, you know, and then I can come in here and spend some of the time developing parts. The stuff that I do enjoy is coming up with designing parts, you know, like coming up with fixes to some of the problems that are associated with operating a camera. I do think that I have a little bit of talent doing that, and if I can keep exploring and, you know, cultivating that talent, then it will transfer to other areas too. Like I can make parts for design parts for the EV world and stuff. And so if I'm still in designing and manufacturing, then it would be great. You know what I mean? Even though most of the part maybe I'm gonna be involved in in a creative field, like making videos, and it might be videos about, like I said, the rules are really not a thing that you should let constrict you. You should make the rules as you go. Like that's the thing that I'm copying Casey. The videos that I'm gonna be telling might not be motion picture films. You know, that doesn't mean that I can't feel fulfilled making videos. Maybe the videos are gonna be about my life and like designing the part that is gonna revolutionize, you know, transport. You know, electric transport from here on. Maybe it's gonna be the next revolution in video. If I'm at the right place at the right time to like make a dent and design something like that, then that's gonna be a story worthwhile telling. And if I'm good at telling stories, and if I'm telling stories every day, then that is gonna be the story that I'm gonna be saying, you know. And so that is the aim here, to like have someone else help me do the stuff that I don't like to do and do more of the stuff that I feel compelled to do and that kind of fulfills me as a person. Oh, check it out. And that's not... Come on, camera, focus. Yeah, what was the other part of that question? Let's see.
So they're asking about the vlog. Is you have a future goal about the vlog? Like, is it gonna ever be compiled into something bigger, like, I don't know, documentary or longer project?
You know, I did have the idea was to make a bunch of like episodes of the Samba, for example, that whole saga or that whole thing, and then one day make it into a documentary. Documentary, it's a genre that I enjoy, and that I feel that maybe one day I could make one, and I'm gonna attempt to make one. The vlogs are just, I don't know what they're gonna turn into. I think the vlogs are, apart from helping me develop my skills and, you know, and teach me to operate under like deadlines when it comes to creative stuff, the other purpose, the great tool that they are, is that they help an audience kind of look deeper into like who I am as a person and what motivates me. And so there's a connection there. And so then that helps you build an audience. And so building an audience is what it allows you to do it gives you a bunch of freedoms. Once you have an audience, then you have a platform where you can, you know, propel yourself and use that to push whatever new idea you have, or whatever new product you have, or whatever it is that you can do. There's the thing that that people will come to me and will ask me to do a commercial for their thing. That's what Casey does, like because he's got already a presence and he's got a lot of people that follow and listen to what he's got to say. Then, Levi's will come in there and say, do us a video about this. But the cool thing about it is that he's going about it different. For the longest time, people tell us, this is how you need to do videos if you want to do them successfully. You need to conform to this system, to the advertising system or whatever. And then someone like Casey comes around and they're like, nope, I'm going to make videos that are good. And people are going to feel attracted to them, and then they're going to come and try to be part of that. But he makes videos on his own terms, you know what I mean? For the most part. I know, nothing is perfect, but for the most part, he did not conform to the way the advertising world work. The advertising world is conforming to the way he's doing videos. And so that, I think, that is the thing that you should try to copy. That's the thing that you should try to emulate. That sense of owning your self-worth, and if you can tell a good story, if this is my style, then people are gonna feel attracted to it, and they're gonna want to pay me money to do it or not. And then it's great to be to a point where you're you can take the jobs that you feel strongly about. That if they don't meet your criteria or whatever, then you can always say no. But you can only do that if you have an audience. And so I think that's what these vlogs are for. It's to creating an audience. The more honest I am, and the and the more I share about my motives, my motivations, I think the easier it is for an audience to kind of connect with me. I like to think I'm special sometimes, but at the same time, I'm just a regular guy with the same dreams and motivations as everyone else. So there's people are gonna connect with those. You know what I mean? All right.
Quickly, for a couple guys that asked, Jack 35. What does it stand for?
Oh, Jack 35. Yeah, Jack 35 is just my name, Jehu Alcaraz Garcia. 35 is from the 35mm adapters. The brand has a little bit of equity because we build a thing from nothing, and then so that's kind of stuck there, and that's why we kept it. Now we're doing stuff for DSLRs, so the 35mm doesn't mean as much anymore, but the Jag part, it still does because it's me. People, for a while, they're calling me Jag. I'm Jag. Which is kind of weird, but yeah, that's what it kind of turned into.
Cool. What else? When are you going to talk more about your your electric EV projects?
Oh, the electric EV projects. Those are going to come actually very quickly. We have a partner that it's kind of pushing for those, and so even though we are super busy, then we need to kind of make time for those, and even if some other stuff kind of hurts or sacrifices and stuff. So there's an investment in there already, so it kind of puts it up higher in the priority lists and stuff. And so we have a lot of toys that a year ago was dreaming of having here, and I haven't touched them for 2 weeks, which is weird and sad at the same time. But all it takes is for us to decide that today we're gonna not do anything else and work on these, and then we're gonna go over there, and I'm sure it's gonna be great videos because all of you who are interested in kind of the OEM stuff and how we can use it, you guys are gonna get to see some of that. Man, this camera's not focusing.
Very quickly, say your name in Spanish and in English. How do you pronounce it?
My name? Oh, so my name is Jehu.
In Spanish.
It's in Spanish, Jehu Garcia.
And pronounce in English?
And in English, I pronounce my name Jehu Garcia. I've read whole articles about the correct pronunciation of this name. His name is of Jewish descent. This is it's in the Bible. It used to be one of the kings of the Israelites. It's pronounced completely different in Hebrew. So the pronunciation in both Spanish and English is just an approximation. There is debate about how it's pronounced. So a lot of people pronounce it Yehu in English. Some pronounce it Yehu. I pronounce it just Jehu, like with the J. I don't. It's like one of those things. It's just whatever you want to make it, because there's no one can agree on it. So I just answered to anything that sounds remotely like it. So
just so you know, Drunk Ramen is one of the Patreon.
woo! Thank you,
So we
Drunk.
Thank him.
Thank-
I believe Perry.
A
I'm
pa-
not sure actually. I'm not sure about that.
Thank you, Drunk Ramen.
And it's an awesome name, by the way.
But yeah, we like ramen. We have, just, I don't know how many people are going to be interested in this, but one of the big projects that I've been working the last couple of days, which is part of the reason why no vlogs, was I'm a huge fan of cooking shows. Well, not just cooking shows. Anthony Bourdain, you know, it's like he talks about food, but it's not just about food. It's more like a life and, you know, philosophy and politics and all this stuff. It's people. Anyways, I been working on a video that has to do with Vietnamese pho, which is that soup and stuff. And I don't know if a lot of people know that. It's like, it's a trendy thing here in like LA and New York and all of the progressive cities, whatever, to try a bunch of different foods and, you know. And so everybody eats this soup stuff, you know, from Vietnamese food. And like, it kind of gets me that we don't know anything about where this food comes from. And so I'm writing a script that talks about my personal experience. Not very elaborate or anything, but it does take me a long time to write. I'm the stuff that I'm trying to do here, I'm really bad at. Like, I'm really bad at writing. I'm really bad at speaking in front of the camera. I'm not very eloquent. I'm not articulate. Editing, I suck at it. I type with two fingers and I edit with two fingers the same way. And so that's why it takes me a long time to do these little pieces that I'm doing. You know, someone's advice might be like, why don't you just like stick with what you're good at? And the simplest reason is because that is not fulfilling. And so the things that I feel more fulfilled are the stuff that I suck at. And so that is the battle here, to try to get good at that stuff. And so anyways, ramen is one of those things that we've discovered not too long ago, a few years ago. There's a cool place here in LA that is considered the best ramen. It's in like little Tokyo, or where is that thing? Like, I don't know. There's a place in LA that we went, and yeah, it's like the best thing in the world. When ramen is made good and prepared correctly, is the best thing. And so maybe some of these vlogs are gonna have some of that, because I always wanted to do like a travel. I'm a big fan of travel shows and food shows. And like the text, I don't know how to combine all that stuff, but if I could do it, then it's going to become a new genre and it's going to attract a lot of people. That's what I'm trying to do here. I'm going to be crazy, but all right. What's another question? Oh, pho is big in Orlando. Yeah. I mean, it's big, I think, all over the world. But, you know, yeah, in Orlando.
You have to read the Hot Rod's next comment.
Where did it say?
The full place by me called.
The Pho King Way. So yeah, the Pho King Way. And it's not pho, it's pho. Yeah, so you're correctly. At least I think that's how the Vietnamese pronounce it or whatever. Nice one, Hot Rod. Ramen plus alcohol? Yeah, I think you can drink alcohol while eating ramen. You can have a nice little Japanese beer. Good on you, drunk. Who plays drums? I see drums at your place. Misa plays drums. I play drums sometimes too, but we haven't played in a long time. There was a few weeks ago that I sold one of my guitars because I kind of needed the money, but it was a guitar that I don't play, so don't feel too bad for me. One day maybe I'll get to have a guitar that I don't play, but for right now it's not a thing that I can pull off. So right now I only have the one guitar that I have the one guitar that I don't play either.
You want another question?
Yeah.
Ahmad is asking from the very beginning. This was the first question, and this might be the last one. I have a question. How do you turn an idea into a small company?
An idea into a small company? You just go for it. Yeah, like, so there's no rule. Again, like you can't follow the rules that people set. Like the way a business should be started here in America is you do a market, you do study on a market, and if your product or your idea has any traction, and then you spend money doing that, obviously, and time and effort. Yeah. If you know how to do that, then you do it. If you don't, you have to pay someone to do that. And then you develop your idea to the point where you have it, it's almost finished. And then you take that and then you try to get funded. You try to get some sponsors or try to get someone to give you money if you don't have the money to do it. And then you set up a company, and then you get permits, and then you pay. So by the time that you are ready to go and you're gonna start making this idea, this product or whatever, you find yourself incredibly in debt, and you've been working at this thing for years and years and years. If you've done your homework, then there's a chance that it's gonna pay off. That's how you do it, and that's how people do it in America. Me, coming from a background where I didn't have any schooling, no education, no money, I was illegal here in the United States. The only way that I could start a business was to actually do it. You know what I mean? There was no company, there was no permits, there was no business license, there was no market studies, there was no anything. It was just me and $300 out of my pocket to do the one thing, and then the internet, which is an incredible tool to allow you to connect to a bunch of people that might be interested and might give you ideas, and that's how you started. So that's how I started. I just made a thing, asked someone if they liked it, then they said yes. Can you make me one? I said yes. I just charged them a little bit more than the parts cost me, and then I did it again and again, and in the span of a few months, I done that, hundreds and thousands of times. And I built up my, I hired people to help me. 5 years later, here we are, we built a brand out of nothing, $300 in my pocket. And then the permits and the locale, the shop, the business license, all that stuff came later. Once it was proven that my idea could make money. Not everyone is gonna advise you to do it that way. In fact, it's not the legal way to doing it. But so either is not living in the United States for 12 years for me. Yet I was forced to do it. And so that is a thing that you'll have to kind of put in the balance. You know what I mean? There's many ways to do this thing. Some of us could only do it one way. At the time, I couldn't do it the right way. And I don't know. In fact, I don't even know if that's the right way or if there is even a right way. So You just have to find it. You have to keep going. You have to try a bunch of different things. Like, don't be afraid to fail. Like that's what that means. People tell you, and I know that doesn't mean anything to a lot of people. It didn't mean a lot for me for long. So the reason why you would fail is because you keep trying, and you would keep trying and keep trying and keep trying. In fact, Charles. I absolutely knew nothing of Charles when I met him in New York. Someone emailed me or linked me at some interview that he had done, and I was very, I don't know if I want to say surprised, but I found it really interesting that the article said that he had tried something like 35 times or something, or 34 times to start up a company or to make a video game or something before he made the one that hit it. And from what he told me, he had like $1,700 in his bank account, which at the time I didn't understand, by the way. Charles, I was like, I'm like, what does that mean? I'm like, $1,700 sounds like a lot of money to me. Or you're saying it was like nothing, or it was too. I was like, what are you trying to? What's your point? Like with the $1,700. But yeah, the articles explained that he was ready to give up, and he didn't. And then he hit it big. Now he had a successful game or whatever and stuff. And so you got to keep trying. I don't know if I have tried to do something 34 times and failed at it. Like, that is an incredible dedication, determination to do something. So I guess, yeah, that's what it comes down to. The way you start your own business and make a product into business is by having incredible dedication, determination, and learn to accept the failures and learn from them. So,
okay, 24 people watching. We're at 1 hour and 10 minutes.
ooh,
You want to cut it off?
yes, yeah, probably.
This guy, Hot Rod, is late to pick up his wife.
No, no.
You better cut it off.
Hot Rod, man, come. You can watch this on the iPhone. Don't drive and do the thing though, because you can. Yeah, all right, guys. I think we're gonna call it a night. We have a lot of work to do. It's late here in California. Well, it's not late. I hate this time. It feels like it's super late when it's not. It's 6:29 in the afternoon. Especially since today I started. I binge watch a bunch of like the Walking Dead yesterday. That's also part of the reason why I didn't get a thing. But here's the thing, for 2 months I haven't really been watching anything, and so, you kind of have to like fuel your brain with creative stuff to be able to, put it out there. And so, yeah, I thank all of you for joining us. I hope you find it interesting. I hope some of your questions were answered.
C-Suite said, "Are you ever gonna have kids?" Before you go.
I don't know about the kids. I used to think definitive no. But now I don't know. It's like, who knows what the future holds for me. But all right, guys. Hopefully, I can do my work here tonight and then go home and edit a video, and then hopefully it's gonna be, you guys find it interesting and engaging. And then we'll get to see you guys next week. All right. Signing off. Thank you guys for watching.
Cool. Stop streaming.